So this morning I wanted to talk about nature again. We're still in the time of Lent. I don't know if you've forgotten that. I don't think you have. And this year, Lent is all focused on the care of creation. So we're looking around at the world and seeing how we can do things so that the world doesn't fall apart, really, so that we can be a part of the healing of the world. And sometimes over these last weeks, I've been trying to think about, what in nature do I really appreciate? What are the things that my eyes open wide when I see? And one of those things are spider webs. See that spider web? I love spider webs. What I think is really cool about spider webs are the design and that everything seems perfectly connected. It really can, if you look at a spider web, you can think about the whole world and all of nature, and you can think about the whole web of life and how nature is all connected. All of nature works together. So there's a famous preacher named Barbara Brown Taylor, and she talks about a special kind of web called the luminous web. And luminous is a big word which really means light or energy. And nature is really all of energy connected. If you think about the sun provides the energy for the plants, and the plants provide the energy for animals. We think about how the trees work to give us oxygen, and the oceans, and all the connection that we see in nature all over. So when Barbara talks about the luminous web, she really talks about how things that we do affect everything else. Our actions can turn into energy out into the world. So if you took this spider web, and it was not just a picture, it was a real spider web, if you touched this side of the web, that vibration would trickle over and ripple out, and it would affect the whole web. So she talks about how the different things that you do, your actions, can take that energy out into the world. So when you choose to do something, whether you're a kid or whether you're a grown-up, let's say it's something loving, that loving energy goes out into the world and it affects the other parts of the web. If you choose to do something compassionate, that ripples out as energy into the world. And on the other hand, if somebody does something hurtful, that energy also goes out into the world. If somebody says something hateful, that energy also goes out into the world. And so she talks about how we can be intentional in our actions. And I know that things have been pretty upside down for you in the past couple of weeks, and around you grown-ups are concerned or they're worried. And some of that concern and that worry or that fear can go out into the world, and that energy can grow. And it translates to fear or concern or worry for other people. So it's really important for us to honor when we have that emotion of fear, but also to work hard against that to bring ourselves to a sense of peace. So sometimes when I'm fearful, I can feel my heart thumping really fast, and it's not because I've been running around. It's because that fear is really deep in my body. Even down in my legs, I can get nervous, or I start to have thoughts that go around and around in my mind that are fearful thoughts. And you have to work hard against that to bring yourself to a place of peace. And one way to do that is called a breath prayer. So a breath prayer is when you take two lines and you say the first line when you're inhaling, and you say the second line when you're exhaling. And this prayer comes from Sarah Bussey, and it comes from 1 John. So the inhale for this, and let's all try it together. You inhale, there is no fear, and you exhale, in your love. So let's do that a number of times. Inhale, there is no fear. Exhale, in your love. Inhale, there is no fear. Exhale, in your love. And if you're able to do that over and over again, you can bring your mind to a place of quiet, and you can bring all that oxygen into your body so that it helps calm down your heart. And what will happen is that you'll be a little place of peace in that web of life, and that peace will radiate out to others. And that's important during this time. So try that as you go ahead. Now let's have another prayer. This is another prayer from Sarah Bussey. She's really wise. So pray with me for a moment. May you find a deep breath when the air around you is thin. May you grow in compassion in these days. May you love well, not in spite of these anxious times, but because of them. Amen.
Thank you for that wonderful